Okay, I may have lied to you, and I'm going to explain everything right now on this episode. And this is one that I really don't think you should miss. So what do you do if you have depression, anxiety, or something else going on, and you either don't want to use magic mushrooms, or maybe you're in an area where you cannot use magic mushrooms? I happen to be in Japan right now. I cannot use magic mushrooms here, so I need to figure out some other ways to feel better every single day. And I'm going to share these with you on this mini-series, Mushrooms from Japan. Enjoy. Hey there, Dr. Dave. Welcome back, Microdose U. And I want to share this with you. Over the last 5 years since I've been microdosing, I've been telling you that psilocybin totally rewires the brain. And once you're fixed, your brain's rewired. You don't have to really do anything else. Or I haven't really said it exactly like that, but pretty much it's better than an SSRI, because SSRIs you have to be on for the rest of your life if you have depression or anxiety. And psilocybin, since it rewires your brain, you don't really have to be on it forever. But I have a little problem that might not be 100% accurate, because I'm over 5 years now into my microdosing journey. And right now I'm here in Japan, and as I've told you in the past, I can't have psilocybin or LSD or anything like that in Japan. I can't. It's too risky. I don't want to take the chance. They're very, very strict on their laws as far as these substances, or even plant medicines, I should say. Whatever you want to call it, it doesn't matter. They're illegal here, and they will throw you in jail if they find that you have it. The odds are very, very slim, but I'm not taking the chance. So I've been having to work here through some things, some anxiety. On the past episode, I did tell you about an anxiety attack I had. It was due to just a lot of things coming together, and through some breathing exercises, I was able to combat it. I was able to, feel a little bit better, or actually quite a bit better. And I thought that might have been a one-off thing. But still, and I will say this, mainly from social anxiety, being in social situations, especially here where people are speaking a language that's not my first language. I feel anxiety, and especially being with other people and in groups and at dinners and meetings and things like that. It's been difficult for me. So the other day, I was with my wife, and as I do a lot of times here, she has some really good friends that I know very well, people that she graduated high school with. They're women, they're her girlfriends from high school, and whenever we're here, we try to get together with them for some type of lunch or hiking or something like that. So the other day, we got together for a really nice lunch. It turned out to be a fairly crowded place, I'd say noisy environment, and there was me, my wife, and 6 of her very, very good friends. And like I said, I know them all very well, and they're super, super, super nice to me. That's not an issue. It's more of my social anxiety on my end. But here's what happened. We're in this restaurant that's, again, fairly crowded, noisy environment, just so many people talking. And then to add to that, when people at the table that I'm with are speaking mostly in Japanese, even though, they try to speak simple Japanese to help me out, I get into a situation where I start to get very anxious. And it seems like my sympathetic autonomic nervous system, the sympathetic part of my autonomic, which is the fight or flight, starts taking over. And I get anxious, and I start feeling really weird. And it's like almost like I want to get out of the situation. Well, the other day this happened, but it was even worse than that. I started feeling some type of after a while, started feeling a little bit faint and a little bit of weird feeling on the left side of my chest, my body, arm, and I'm not thinking heart attack, anything like that. That would be very unlikely. I go get my physical every year. My heart seems fine. My lipid panel, my cholesterol, all that's been very, very, very good. I'm an athlete, and when I don't have any kind of chest pain on exertion or anything like that, nothing like that whatsoever. It was more, in my mind, in my diagnosis, more of an anxiety attack coming on. And it was really weird feeling. I mean, I felt like I've got to calm down and breathe, or else this is going to get worse and worse and worse. So I excused myself from the room just for a little bit, and I just started breathing, and I knew that I had to do something, because if I was in that situation and anxious, and I don't know what would have happened. And I didn't have anything to microdose with. I think if I had some psilocybin with me, I am 98% sure that it would have taken care of the whole situation. 98% sure. I'm virtually positive, but I didn't have anything. And I'm certainly not going to use alcohol in a situation like that. That's going to make things worse. I don't like alcohol, and it would make things worse. So I texted a friend of mine that I have here in Japan. And I said to him, where was I? I was in Machida, which is part of Tokyo. I said, I'm in Machida right now. Is there a place where I can go find some CBD gummies or something like that? I need some CBD. Since anything else is illegal, I figured this is like the best I can get to calm me down. And he immediately texted me back. He said, there's actually a shop about 2 miles away from where I was having lunch with these friends. And I did some quick Google map looking up, and it meant I would have had to get on a bus. And I'm not an expert at taking buses here in Japan, but I would pretty much do anything to get out of this situation. So I excused myself. I said, I was already there long enough, and I said, great lunch, thanks for everything. And I left. I left, say goodbye to everybody, and I left. And I found the bus stop that I was supposed to get to get to this vape shop, or whatever it was called, CBD shop, whatever it was called. And it was about a 10 to 15, probably about a 15-minute bus ride. And here I am on this bus. I'm thinking like, oh my God, once I even get off the bus, how am I going to find this shop? Because in Japan, it's not always easy. Even for natives, it's not always easy to find things. So here, being kind of a foreigner, it's even more difficult for me, but I had to do this. So I got off the bus. I started looking at my Google map. It led me to a place that should have been the CBD shop, but it looked like a car repair garage facility to me instead. And here I am looking. Is this it? This doesn't look right. Something doesn't look right here. But upon closer inspection, I saw that inside this car garage, and there were some cars being worked on, there was like another door. So I just walked in. I walked into this car garage. I didn't say anything to anybody. I just walked through, and I saw this door, very sketchy looking, and it said whatever the name of the CBD shop was. I can't remember off the top of my head, but it said, if that was the name I was looking for. Inside this garage, I got to go through this door. I'm thinking, this is very, very weird. So I walked through it, and there was a man. It was like a little sketchy type closet type store. It was very weird looking.
Hey, how you doing, y'all? I'm Reverend Knight, and we're just taking a real quick break. We'll be back with him in just a couple of seconds, but I just wanted to share with you, Dr. Dave puts his heart and soul into every episode and to help people all over the world feel better from depression, anxiety, PTSD, and so many more things. He's been doing this for almost 5 years right now, and every episode he does, he just wants to help one person. And if he helps one person, that's his dream. But I think he's helping a lot more than one person, to be honest with you. So I just wanted to share a few things you can do with him in addition to listening or watching his podcast. For example, he's got that Patreon group, which is fantastic. I'm there all the time. We got a good group of people there that we all try to help each other out. We got live meetings, and also not only that, but we got a chat going all the time on the WhatsApp platform, basically 24/7, where you want a question answered, you got your question answered, because we got people that are answering and monitoring all the time. And most importantly, I shouldn't say most importantly, but very importantly, a lot of you all are looking for a good place to get your medicine that's safe, that's good, they're not going to get ripped off, and you know it's going to work out really well. Well, the only place we talk about that is on the Patreon platform. So it's another reason to join us over there. We all love you all, and it's just a great place to be. The links are always in the show notes and on Dr. Dave's website, Microdose U.com. It's microdose with just a little U on the end of it, microdoseu.com. You join us on Patreon. By the way, he's got a 5-part free introductory course to Beginner's Guide to Microdosing Safely. Again, that's in the links in the show notes or on the website. It's Beginner's Guide. It's totally free. It's by email. You don't have to talk to anybody if you don't want to. It's all there for you. So let's get right back into the podcast, dear.
So I walked in, and there's a guy right there, kind of at a counter. The place was no larger than like a large closet, let's say. He was very welcoming. I asked him if he had any CBD gummies, and he didn't speak much English. I speak a little bit of Japanese, but very simple Japanese. So between his little English, my little Japanese, and a translating app, we did fine. We did totally fine. He was really nice and really tried to be as helpful as possible. I was probably in there for at least 25 to 30 minutes, but the bottom line is, I think gummies are illegal. Even CBD and CBN, they're illegal in Japan. It seems like none of the places have gummies. They only sell vape, and I think some liquid, which I found out afterwards. But I bought a vape pen with CBN cartridge and a CBD cartridge, and I think that's what I thought I needed to help me out, to help me with this anxiety. And I'll tell you something. I want to make it very clear that there's no question in my mind that the psilocybin has changed my life, like 100%. There's no question. However, is there a possibility of, recurrences of things going downhill? And it was mainly due to social anxiety. So the answer is yes on that. But I'm not saying that this didn't work or this hasn't rewired my brain 100%. I'm just saying that I got myself into some situations here that I needed to use the psilocybin, or I needed to use some microdosing of LSD, which I did not. That's a whole different story, which I'll talk to maybe on another episode. But I bought this. I left the shop. I've been using this CBD and the CBN. Does it work? I would say better than nothing, but not unbelievable. The CBD does seem to calm me pretty much. I don't like smoking either. I just don't like vaping. I don't vape and I don't smoke, but I figured vaping some CBD is better than not having anything and having this anxiety and this fight or flight mode all the time. So I thought I'm taking like the lesser of the two evils, I guess. So I've got this, and if you're watching on video, I'll show you. Here's what it looks like right here. Here's my vape pen, and I've got this is CBD in it right now, and I've got the other cartridge of CBN, and I'm gonna try my best to get through this and work with it. I'm in an area now, since that day, I moved to a different area, which I'm kind of out of most social situations, and I think I'm feeling much, much, much better anyway. So again, we've always said with microdosing, you always have to do the work alongside of the microdosing. You can't just pop a microdosing capsule, a psilocybin capsule, or eat a chocolate or something like that and expect everything's going to be totally fine. You have to also work on yourself. And if you know there are situations where you're going to become more anxious or maybe more depressed or whatever, you've got to get yourself out of those situations. That's one of the things you need to do alongside of the microdosing. In other words, if you're just, for example, let's say you're just in a horrible, horrible, horrible relationship, toxic, horrible relationship. You could be the best microdoser in the world, best microdoser on this planet. But if you don't remove yourself from that situation, I will submit to you, things are not going to get better. The microdosing is not going to erase things in your life that are bad. Anyway, you've got to take care of those as well. And the microdosing will help with, your anxiety, your depression. If you've got PTSD from something in the past, it will help with that, but you've got to remove yourself from those situations. I've got more stories coming to you from Japan, how I'm coping with my anxiety here without having the luxury of having this wonderful plant medicine with me. And I'm doing it, I'm getting by, it's working, but again, all things considered, I'd rather have some psilocybin with me right here. I hope this little mini series that I've just started, Mushrooms from Japan, is helping you a little bit. It's helping me see the realities of magic mushrooms and what happens if you totally take them away. I've got a brand new episode coming out every single Wednesday. Dr. Denise has her episodes on the same channel coming out every Sunday. Please check them both out. And I really hope to see you in Patreon. That's where we truly take this stuff to the next level and change lives. I mean, we're doing this every single day. Patreon has been going for quite some time. The group keeps getting better and better and better. And I hope to see you there and on a live meeting at some point in Patreon. And I want you to remember something. You're very valuable. You matter a lot. You matter a lot to me, and you matter a lot to everybody here at Microdose U. I'll see you on the next episode.